Michael Jai White, a name synonymous with martial arts and action films, has been a fixture in Hollywood for decades, often portraying invincible heroes with fists of steel. Yet behind the silver screen persona lies a much darker, more complex reality. Born in the tough Brooklyn neighborhood of New York on November 10, 1967, White grew up surrounded by violence and crime, pushing him to find a way out. At the age of 7, he began martial arts training, unknowingly stepping onto a path that would not only transform his life, but also leave him marked by hardship. By the time he was an adult, White had earned 7 black belts across various disciplines, including Shotokan Karate, Goju Ryu, Taekwondo, and Jiu-Jitsu. His dedication to martial arts led him to a career as an instructor, where he not only taught combat techniques, but also encouraged his students to avoid the violence he had witnessed in his youth. White's martial arts expertise, combined with his imposing physique, made him an attractive prospect for Hollywood producers looking to fill the action star void, and by the early 1990s, he had broken into the film industry. His portrayal of boxing legend Mike Tyson in the 1995 TV film Tyson gave him a major breakthrough, but it was in 1997, when he starred in Spawn, that White truly made cinematic history, becoming the first black actor to portray a comic book superhero. Though the film didn't garner major commercial success, White's role cemented his place as a trailblazer in the industry, challenging the long-standing Hollywood norm of casting white actors in superhero roles. Over the next few decades, White continued to build his filmography, appearing in popular action films like Exit Wounds, 2001, and Undisputed 2: Last Man Standing, 2006. However, perhaps his most iconic role came in 2009 with Black Dynamite, a film he co-wrote, produced, and starred in, parodying the 1970s blaxploitation genre. The film showcased his talents beyond martial arts and highlighted his creativity as an artist. White's career soared as he teamed up with other action legends, such as Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, and Wesley Snipes, while also making a memorable cameo in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, 2008, as the villainous Gamble. Even in his 50s, White remains a force in the action genre, refusing to slow down as both an actor and director. Yet for all his professional success, the world only saw one side of Michael Jai White, the unbreakable martial artist and Hollywood icon. Beneath that facade lies a man who has fought battles far more personal than those seen on screen. At the age of 15, White was thrust into fatherhood, an experience that would haunt him for the rest of his life. The mother of his child, only 4 years older than White, was legally in a position that could have resulted in charges of statutory rape. The young White, grappling with the struggles of adolescence and his pursuit of martial arts, was forced into a responsibility he was unprepared for. The weight of fatherhood would follow him into adulthood, as his son, born out of youthful recklessness, faced a tragic life filled with addiction and hardship. In 2021, White's son passed away from COVID-19, a devastating loss that left him emotionally scarred. The virus, however, was merely the final blow to a life already ravaged by poor choices. White, once a carefree teenager, now had to reconcile with the deep pain of losing his son at a time when he should have still had his whole life ahead of him. This heartbreaking loss was a stark contrast to the superhero persona audiences admired on screen. It forced White to confront the haunting reality of how his choices in youth had shaped not only his life, but also the life of his son, a life that was ultimately cut short. Michael Jai White's personal life continued to unravel as he reached adulthood, marked by a series of tragic and controversial events. In 2005, he married Dr. Courtney Chapman, an obstetrician-gynecologist, and to the public, they appeared to be a picture-perfect couple. one of Hollywood's power pairs. But by 2011, their marriage ended in a very public divorce. And the scandal surrounding the breakup painted a less-than-ideal image of White's character. Rumors swirled that White had been unfaithful to Chapman with Claudia Jordan, a former model and TV host. The alleged affair reportedly lasted for years, causing a rift that led to the divorce. Despite his silence on the matter, the media frenzy only intensified, fueling speculation about White's role in the dissolution of his marriage. The betrayal and subsequent scandal painted White in a new light, one that contradicted his on-screen persona as a devoted family man. In Hollywood, where image is everything, White's silence on the matter allowed the scandal to grow, further tarnishing his reputation. Despite this, White's career continued to rise as he took on more roles in action films, eventually becoming known for his raw talent and authenticity. But his personal struggles didn't end with his divorce. In 2019, White found himself embroiled in a bitter custody battle with his partner, Ashley Rear, following the collapse of their relationship. Rear accused White of reckless behavior, including driving aggressively while transporting their child, which prompted a court to reduce White's custodial rights. The legal battle and its public airing brought new scrutiny to White's character, portraying him as a father who had lost control, further complicating the image of the strong, invincible figure audiences had come to admire. The ruling stripped White of full custody of his child, adding another layer of personal heartbreak to his already tumultuous life. For a man who had risen to fame portraying heroes who protected their families, this legal defeat was a bitter irony. In Hollywood, where public perception is often shaped by tabloid headlines, White's private struggles became the subject of widespread media attention. The public's judgment of him became clouded, with many seeing him as a fallen star rather than the martial arts legend he once was. However, through it all, White remained resilient. In 2015, he remarried actress Jillian Ileana Waters, and they built a life together, moving past the scandals that had once defined him. Yet even in his new life, the shadows of the past never fully disappeared. His 15-year-old self, the boy thrust into fatherhood too early, still haunted him, and the scars of his failed marriage and custody battle would never fade. Despite these personal tragedies, Michael Jai White continues to work in the industry he helped shape, proving that his dedication to martial arts and film is stronger than the personal demons that have haunted him. His legacy as a groundbreaking actor and martial artist is undeniable, but his true strength lies not in his on-screen persona, but in his ability to endure the many trials life has thrown at him. Today, in his 50s, White remains active in both acting and martial arts, teaching new generations of fighters and filmmakers alike. His past may be filled with mistakes and misfortunes, but those same struggles have shaped him into a man who understands the true cost of fame and the weight of personal responsibility. His story serves as a reminder that even the strongest heroes face battles that no one can see. In the end, Michael Jai White's journey is not just one of triumphs and achievements, but one of human resilience, showing that even in the face of great personal loss and public scrutiny, the true measure of a man lies in his ability to rise and continue moving forward.